So today we are checking out the brand new AC EVO 0.4 update featuring the Ferrari SF-25 from the current F1 2025 season. Now previously we already covered the Ferrari F2004 and that's going to be the car that we are comparing this one to in this video. Now whilst they're 20 years apart, it's the two Formula cars that we have in AC EVO and they're going to be the most direct comparison. Now if you haven't seen that video guys, link in the top right, but in a nutshell, generally I liked it, but there was one big drawback. The car didn't turn in the corners unless you were off throttle to helping rotate it. So I'm hoping this today is an improvement, and small spoiler, it is. Now I've already driven the car. You're going to see on screen now I actually did a shakedown at Fuji. Why? Because I wanted to test all the buttons. This car has a lot of controls, engine configs, battery configs, so on, so forth. And basically I hopped on Fuji to do a couple of laps, literally just a shakedown. I did an out lap, I did a first kind of test lap, and then I did on my third lap a kind of push with the default car settings, and already got on pace. And it felt quite intuitive, which is a really good sign. It's a really good positive sign that you can hop on and get on there straight away and do a lap. Now I've done that first mini run which you're seeing on screen now, and literally I went back to the garage, I took the fuel out, I readjusted the engine modes to basically calibrate the car for a single push qualifying lap, and this is what I did. So yeah, that was actually a really good time, and we already have a benchmark for you guys to go beat if you drive this car yourself. I didn't change anything on the setup except for the battery modes and engine modes. So we're going to go to test number 2, and today we're at Spa. We're going to bring this now into the F1 calendar, into the F1 realm, and see how things translate. And again, we have a real life time to compare the car to. Now for this one, we're going to kind of talk about a few more details here and kind of run you through it and give you like a live demo. So first off, it asks you to enable pit limiter, which we'll do straight away, and that basically now allows you to drive away. I've got buttons mapped, I've got overtake mapped as well, I've got the different kind of engine modes here, which is a little bit of a pain going through the dash and kind of cycling through the modes. There's a lot of them as well, so you know that's not great. So we're going to put the charge on the MGUH. The engine map I care less about. Now there is 12 modes here, there's a hell of a lot to get through, which is a little bit impractical, but it is what it is. Anyway, I've readjusted the camera settings, so we're going to get on track and get stuck in. Now let's go for a lap and see what we can do, shall we? We'll get the tyre temp up, we'll put the engine modes up a little bit for when we go back around and get ready for a bit of a push. But honestly, it feels pretty intuitive. So before we start, we're going to go and set the ERS deploy. We're going to go all the way down on the engine modes to 1, which is optimal. We're going to turn off recharge. and we're going to get to it. Now, there's a more streamlined way to do this, but we'll talk about it in just a bit. Let's see how we do here. Using DRS. Out the last corner as we start the lap. First time doing this. Braking at approx 100 meter board. Turn in for the sauce. Straight on the power on the way out. Was a little bit conservative there. Could have actually probably broke a bit later. Also carried more speed and got on the power sooner. Over the top of a Rouge and Rally on this time. No dramas, all within track limits as we wait for the DRS. There's the light. This car really struggles in 8th gear. I'm not sure why. I had the same issue in Fuji. I need to look into this. Not even braking 300 Ks as we are a little bit deep into Lacombe. Bit of oversteer. Same through Malmedy. Back end fighting as we head towards Rivage. A little bit deep. Pull it back up for the exit. No name. 4th gear corner. Plenty of grip. Camber helps turn the car. Now, how much do we commit to pull on? Oh, wow. Wow, so much downforce. It's flat. Fully flat. Right, into the chicane. 5th gear. Nice and tight there. Try and open the second part. Watch the gravel on the exit. Stavlo, a little kiss of the outside curb. And now I'll just floor it as we go flat through Stavlo 2. We're going to use overtake all the way down here. Not sure if we're going to run out of battery capacity, but you can hear the car just suffocating at the top end of 8th gear. We're losing speed down to 280. We're out of battery, I think. So that's really not optimal. To the bus stop. Aggressive on the curbs. And then DRS to the line. Last bit of battery. And it's a 152.4. So it's a terrible time. Even though that wasn't that bad looking. But that is the one big drawback from this car so far when I've driven it. Not sure why. Maybe it's my downforce trim. But it struggles to go beyond 300 kilometers an hour. And that was, in theory, with the full push modes. So we'll do it again. We'll do 20 litres. We'll do kind of like a quali sim or short run. We'll go 15 actually. Suspension, we're not going to change anything, okay? That's not going to change our straight line speed. But the aero is. Now, the wings are pretty high. Front wing 14. We'll go to 10. We'll put the rear down to 6. I might do a little dabble on ride height on the rear and on the front. I feel like we could probably go a bit lower. It's quite a flat circuit. We'll go 36 on the front. We'll go 54 on the rear. But is this going to solve our straight line speed issues? So let's see. Let's go up on the engine modes here and get ready for the push lap. So we're going to get everything engaged. Engine mode 1. Also ERS deploy 1. Let's get to it. Right. Another attempt. Let's see if we make any difference on the straight. Away we go. We're going to move the bias to the rear a little bit. Full send. Turn 1. Carrying way more speed in. Watch the exit, but we carry way more speed out, taking in 3rd gear this time. Right. Down towards a Rouge. Here we go. Nicely done. Over the top. Wait for the DRS. There it is. Car climbs pretty well in 7th. But then in 8th it drops. So 8th gear is just a no-go. Right, down to 4th for Acom. Watch the back end. So the wings didn't really make a difference in terms of straight line speed as we carry more speed. Down towards turn 8. Much better line this time. The fuel making a big difference, of course. Actually going to 5th gear through no name. Bit of opposite lock as we go to pull. And are we still flat on these lower wings? Wow, that is unbelievable downforce. Ooh, accidentally double downshift there. All good. Right, into the Fania chicane. Try and open the right. A bit on the exit. A bit of gravel there. You can tell we're pushing. Bit of upper lock on the way out of Stavlo as we now race down the straight. We won't use overtake this time. We'll just let the battery do its job. We'll leave it in 7th gear. So hopefully we can climb towards 300 plus and avoid the inside curb of Longchamp, preferably to not cut our speed. There we go, 290. It's a small improvement, but not a lot. Try to carry a bit more speed into the bus stop here. Third gear. Good speed carried, and we are going to improve. Still not over, you know, that much. I thought we'd be better than that. I mean, Piastri did a 1 minute 40 in real life, and we're in a 1 minute 50. We're 10 seconds off. That's insane. Like, it doesn't feel that bad. That's crazy to me. Now, overall, that was a really interesting test because I don't understand. In the replay, both in Fuji and Spa, you can see the rear light is flashing, which usually indicates recharge and battery harvesting. But I'm pretty certain, unless I'm being really thick, I'm in the correct push modes here. So that doesn't fully add up unless it's a visual thing, visual bug, something inconsistent. Either way, the wings made no difference. The car was a little bit more on the edge. We was able to manage it. We was fine at the corners. But in terms of straight line speed, there was no difference. Only thing I could take away from that was you have to hold 7th gear instead of 8th. And that's now 2 tracks we've tested, 2 tracks with the same issue. But that was the same spec of car. Maybe if we use a different spec, we get a different result. Right, now we've properly got the correct settings. So now we should hit top speeds. Now, look in the bottom right, also center of the dash, we have performance modes. Performance modes basically simplifies and kind of merges engine maps and battery maps all into one. So performance mode 1 is push. Then we have race. Then we have balanced. Then we have Lico, lift and coast, of course, as we know, Ricardo Adami. Then we have charge, and then we have wet. So 6 modes to choose from. So we're going to go to charge for the outlap. We're at Suzuka this time, the ultimate test track. The track conditions are optimum, so let's get to it. And now we're going to see exactly what this car is all about. Right, off the pit limiter. Let's do a little installation lap and get ready for some pushing. This will be our last test of the video, to be honest, guys. I'm not going to bother with the wet conditions or the AI. I've seen what I've seen. The AI are just, you know, early access, Assetto Corsa AI. There is really nothing to read into right now. And the wet conditions also just are nowhere compared to, you know, other sims on the market. There's no dry, wet racing lines or anything like that. It's just, you know, more of a visual thing rather than actual performance related. So we're just going to focus on enjoying this car and understanding it in these conditions. So this will be the last test of the video. So this will be much easier. We go all the way down to mode 1, which is push. We are on a default setup, so we'll take the fuel out in a bit. But let's do a banker, hopefully, without any big issues, and get a reference time. Oh my god, the power there. DRS open. Right, 8th gear. There we go, over 310 Ks. That's a bit more like it. Braking a little bit early for turn 1. Taking a little bit of caution. Watch the exit. Out of turn 2. Down to the S as we go. Carrying that speed. The faster you go, the more downforce you're going to get from the ground effect. So you have to try and keep the speed up as much as possible. Whoa! Big moment there. Whew. Good save, but that was a bit of time loss. Into the Degners. Oh, drifting as well, giving everything through there. Right, up towards the hairpin. Bit of front and rear locking. Got the bars on 54. Taking a while to get the power down there. Right, towards Spoon. Let's try and carry some speed into this one. Fast entry. A little bit of understeer in the mid-corner. Didn't really get the second apex. As we lighted up on the exit, and now all we need to do is prepare the final chicane, the Casio triangle. I think we're out of battery. The pink bar has disappeared from my speedometer on the right, so we're just going to hold it in 7th as we head towards the chicane. On the brakes, nice and late, over the curbs. A little bit of opposite lock as we light it up to the line. DRS. There we go, 136.6. Close your DRS. Ooh. Okay, that was a better lap. I mean, we used mode 2, which is balanced, or race mode actually, and that gave us battery for the rest of the lap. So I think if we dabble with the modes, we can probably manage it. Oh, it's getting fun, but it's getting challenging. I don't believe it. Oh, such a good lap. No. Oh, I'll leave it there. I mean, this ain't a time trial sweaty video, but that was so good. That was a lot of fun. I should have been a 32.5. Whew. The interesting thing, though, is that I had a look, and the real-life pole time this season was a 26.9. So, this car is really slow. It's a strange feeling. Like, usually we're used to F1-25, where the F1 game is really fast compared to real-life times. It's faster, you know, much faster. This is actually significantly slower. Now, granted, I haven't done any setup work. All I'm doing is running 10 litres of fuel, a bit of a wing adjustment, and a lower bit of ride height. But that's it. Even still, like, I don't think you're gonna find 6 seconds by changing like the roll bars and all the other stuff. So, yeah, even with the correct engine modes and the car hitting top speed, we did derate a little bit at 130R. I could sit here and probably drive this for hours, but look, really good car. I'm gonna just keep it really simple, guys. Really fun to drive, excellent challenge. AC Evo have really redeemed themselves with this one. I wasn't so sure with the F2004, but this one has hit the mark, and I'll be driving this again. Now, it's 0.4, very early access, so still a long way to go, but this is a good step in the right direction, guys, and I thoroughly approve of this machine.